Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program 1.2 Career Mode. When we last left off, we put a satellite around a very specific orbit around Minmus, and today we're going to look at mission control here, see what we've got. We need to plant a flag on Minmus and get science data from the surface of Minmus. So Minmus looks to be our destination here. We can also rescue Lizrine Kerbin from the orbit of Minmus. So while we are there, we can sort of sync up, rescue her, and then get back. I think that would be pretty good. We'll go ahead and accept that contract, and we need a rocket to get out to Minmus. Let's see what is in my. Let's see if I have an auto-saved ship here. I do. So I was building this as a Minmus lander. We don't need all of these guys. Let's put in Sigsy to get her some experience. And because we are taking science, we need Bill. And that will leave one empty seat for our rescue mission here. What I also wanted to do was take these guys and do them ×4. I think that would be more beneficial as opposed to my last launch. And I think what I want to do is instead of, well, I kind of want to do the skipper. We'll be fine. So on this vessel, we have this fuel tank here with the Poodle engine, a mystery goo, our accelerometer, our barometer, and we'll have a crew report and an EVA report, as well as the surface sample to do. So let's launch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the launch pad. We have our rocket here. First thing we need to do is set our target to Minmus. And then when we launch, we want to go a little bit north of the 90. Let's SAS on, a full power, and let's go. Let's get our gravity turn started. We want to be just a little south of the 90, about right there or so. We don't want to be going too far north. Otherwise, we'll just go right around Minmus, essentially point right here at our target, which would be Minmus indeed. About right there would be our inclination. We need surface here, surface mode. Really picking up speed, but I am going to speed this up. You'll see this at in time acceleration mode here, and then once we're ready to go to Minmus, I'll go ahead and rejoin you because you've seen this many times before. We're just doing our standard launch profile, nothing too fancy schmancy, and then we'll set up to rescue our fine feathered friend from the orbit of Minmus. So stay tuned. It's about to get fast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Minmus. We have our encounter. What I would like to do is just slow down enough here to ring ourselves around, essentially get us into a stable orbit around Minmus. Then we can sort of pick and choose our approach to Lizrine's wreckage, which should be our next target. We're 6 degrees off or so. That's okay. A 10-second burn will do us. Essentially, we want to be going retrograde. And Lizzie is out here somewhere. We may be able to forego picking her up this time around. Obviously, the ground science is really what we need. So if we can encounter her, awesome. If not, we're just going to go down to the surface. Whoops, missed that one. But we're retrograde, doesn't matter. As long as we didn't exit the sphere of influence, we are fine. All right, 3.7 meters a second. We're now in a pretty elliptical orbit here, a 6.6 degree inclination change. Which way are we going, in fact? We may have came the wrong way. No, we are orbiting the same direction, which helps tremendously. Let's see if we can hit that ascending node and go down just a touch. So that maneuver is going to be just 3.6 meters a second. We can work with that. All right, let's go ahead and get on the maneuver node and time accelerate up to our next maneuver. We'll zero out our movement and see if we can drop our orbit nearby her or him, and then see if we can just sort of cheekily pick him up as we are descending. That would be pretty epic if we could do such things as those. And cut. And cut. Not a whole lot of movement. We are now 0.3 off. Now we want to sort of do that at our apoapse and bring that right down into that orbit. Now let's see if we can... Oh, that's pretty bang on. I like that one. Sweet. So we will warp here past our maneuver node. If the interface will let us, we'll warp past the maneuver node. And then we will click past the maneuver node and warp to the next maneuver. Just fling around Minmus as we do. And it's only a 6.8 meter a second burn. We can drop down and essentially null out our movement in relation to the wreckage, which I do not see orbiting Minmus right now. But I'm sure we'll see it once we get close. Get a nice eclipse there of the sun. Here we go, 1 minute out. And that's going to be a retrograde burn right on the nose. And in 51 seconds, we are just going to squeeze the throttle just a touch. Just a touch of throttle, just squeezing that retrograde. And then we'll see how we did compared to our encounter. If we keep burning, what happens? Are we going to 16.4? Yes. So what we need to do is really throttle this engine down, the thrust limiter down to 1.5, and then we will thrust again until we get close enough. 6.7. 6 is good. All right, let's turn our engines back up to full speed. So we're ready for it. We're going to come around and do the rescue mission, and we may head home, or we may encounter. So we'll see what happens. There we go. Essentially a dead stop. Here's the wreckage for Lizreen. It's going to be a female Kerbal. Where is our... There's our ship. Let's EVA. Oh, and we're lost in space. She flipped here. Where is our space ship? When she EVA'd, it all went to crap. All right, can we go out and target this vessel? I don't believe we can. Yeah, set as target. So now I can actually see the target. Here we go. Tell you, this is almost like a, it's almost like a gravity moment when you let go of the spacecraft and everything just starts spinning around wildly. It's sort of a hairy situation. And grab. And board on in. Welcome aboard. We have completed, should have completed, yep, $37,000 and a rendezvous and a crew transfer near Minmus. Excellent. So now we don't need to set that as target anymore. We can essentially go to orbit, go retrograde, and at our apoapsis here, we are going to try a landing as much as we can. Almost got the suicide burn. And let's cut it. We're gonna be good. Sort of landing on a hill. We'll use SAS to keep our spacecraft pointed up. We're not going to fire the engines. We're just going to sort of bounce around until the spacecraft settles down. With the nose facing up, there we go. Sliding to a halt, SAS off, and we are landed on the side of a hill, granted, but still good. Let's go ahead and get our mystery goo ready to go. That's 100 science from the lowlands. Let's grab the barometer pressure data, 120 more science. The seismic data, 200 more science. Our thermometer, 80 more science. We're going to grab a crew report as per usual. And then we will EVA with Sigsy to get an EVA report for 80, take a surface sample for 300, and then we also need to plant a flag. So that is what we shall do. Sigsy will fall down here, and let's plant it. And this is the lowland, so we will mark it as such. Hey, Sigsy, stop moving, please. Oh, geez. She's caught running. Sigsy, stop. Stop. Well, our poor Kerbal is stuck in sort of a limbo. we're going to go all the way down this hill, it seems, until we reach the... Oh, good. Plant a flag, please. There we go. Science on the lowlands. Now we're ready to get back on board. That was definitely an exercise in futility. And now we need to get home. Do we have enough fuel to get home? I hope we do. But that's a lot of money. Essentially what I would like to do is launch when we are, well, it's actually about now, when we are retrograde to our orbit, and we will just launch in an easterly fashion, go as fast as we can, as quickly as we can, and hope for the best. Now, if we could get a slingshot, that's actually not bad. It will slingshot us into a much narrower orbit. I like the look of that. That is only a 1-second burn for us to do that. Here we come, Moon. Oh, and as a matter of fact, we can actually get science data from space around the moon and complete that contract as well. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone is indeed the way to go. All right, and now that we're around the moon, we can get a crew report. We will keep the experiment, and that is our space data from around the moon. All right, slingshotting us. Oh, that is our lunar lander module. So as we pass over the moon, we actually catch a glimpse of the very craft that brought us to the moon in the first place, which is really fitting and really cool. Thank you, Moon, for slowing us down as you did. We will time warp and we'll actually be here on our apoapsis. And then we can just slow down once more. So here is Kerbin now. 100,000. We want to be facing retrograde just like so. We'll go ahead and time accelerate. We are now in the atmosphere. We're going to wait until we sort of get over the top here, and then we're going to start really slowing down. Well, it looks like our parts may be heating up. Let's go ahead and burn all of this fuel while we can. All right, we're out. Just a space bar. And we should dip back into the atmosphere here and come back around. Looks like we're going to miss it this time around, so a few more laps and we will be encapsulated in Kerbin's sphere of influence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, parachutes have opened, and we are now on the way with Sigsy Bob and Liz Reen, and more importantly, all that science that we brought back from Minmus, planting the flag, taking the soil sample, and we're going to splash down. I'll keep the heat shield on this time because essentially what we want is to bring that back for more funds. But splashing down here, 5.9 meters a second. We have splashed down, auto-saved. Let us see if we can get a crew report here. We'll EVA. We will take all the data, store all the data, get a crew report. No, we're going to have to board for that. We'll get a crew report here. No. So we are done. We will recover our vessel. We've fulfilled a few contracts there. We've brought back some data from space around the moon. We've also planted a flag. 742 science for us. Excellent. We recovered at only 50% of the value, but that's fine. Sigsy and Liz Reen are now level 2. Sigsy is a level 2 pilot. Liz Reen is a level 2 engineer. So that is good stuff. We have 900 science. Let's take a look at our contracts that we have fulfilled here. Science data from space around the moon, another 100,006 science. We also have science data from the surface of Minmus, another $134,000. And we have rescued Liz Reen from the orbit of Minmus for $389,000. So in the next episode, we're going to spend some of this money, probably upgrade the space plane hangar and the runway, and we may go for going for a flight. Yeah, we're down to 3 contracts now. So that is going to do it for me in this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. And thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.